Training გურისთვის სადვარ სუპერისთვის. პარდობა ჩემს ოჯახს. ყველაფერი კარგადაა, დედი. პარხა. შეგენა ცალებოში. აგრეთვე და ფილიქს მოტივირებული ვარ როგორც არასდროს. ბედნიერი ვარ. პატარა ნაკაზრები მაქვს სახელზე, მაგრამ ყველაფერი ზე. ყველაფერი წინ არის და უფრო ძლიერს მელოდებ.
UFC bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili attempted the impossible, defending his title 4 times in a single year. But at UFC 323, his dream came crashing down in a bloody war against Petr Yan. Going into UFC 323, Merab Dvalishvili was on top of the world. The Georgian fighter had already defended his bantamweight title 3 times in 2025, defeating Umar Nurmagomedov, Sean O'Malley, and Cory Sandhagen. The win over Sandhagen came in early October, and incredibly, Dvalishvili immediately pushed for a 4th defense before the year ended. This had never been done before in UFC history. No champion had ever successfully defended their title 4 times in a single calendar year. And standing in his way, Petr Yan, a former champion himself, hungry for redemption in their rematch. From the opening bell, this was war. Petr Yan came with a completely different game plan than their first fight nearly 3 years ago. He showcased devastating power, a blistering lead jab that turned Dvalishvili's face into a bloody mess, and brutal body shots, both punches and kicks, that had the champion reeling. Dvalishvili, true to his nickname, The Machine, refused to quit. He pressed forward despite the punishment, attempting to make it a grueling battle. But Yan was calculated, controlled, and dominant. After 5 rounds of absolute warfare, the judges' scorecards told the story. Petr Yan won by unanimous decision. The damage was severe. UFC CEO Dana White posted a photo from backstage showing Dvalishvili's battered face with one word: savage. The fight was immediately declared Fight of the Night, earning both fighters an extra $50,000. But for Merab, the money meant nothing. His title was gone. On Monday, just days after the devastating loss, Merab Dvalishvili broke his silence on social media with his first official statement. In a message that showed both humility and determination, he wrote, "Tonight wasn't my night, but I will be back stronger than ever. Thank you everyone for your support." But he didn't stop there. During his Octagon interview with Joe Rogan immediately after the fight, a bloodied and battered Dvalishvili made his intentions crystal clear. "I tried to put on a show, and I lost the fight. He had a better game plan. Congrats to him, but I want a rematch. Making 135 pounds is always hard for me because I cut weight my own way. I don't trust nutritionists. I'm not looking for excuses. I tried to fight in an exciting way. Everyone is happy. That's what matters most. I didn't want to wrestle. Fighting was boring. I wanted to stand and trade with him, and today he was better.
I tried to give all entertainment good fight, and I lost today. He was better game today, and congratulations to him. But I wanna rematch. I wanna run it back. Yeah, it's always hard for me to make 135 because I do my way. Because I don't trust no teammates or no nutritionists. And it was hard, of course, but I'm not making any excuse. I just try entertainment fight today. I tried to good fight to give everybody. I'm glad that Dana White was happy, so that's all matter for me. He got me here in UFC, and long as I'm a good company man, I'm happy, because that's all. It's a sport, and we try to make it people entertainment, you know. I don't want to make a wrestling or boring, or I don't know. Today I was feeling to just stay toe-to-toe with him, and he was better fighter today.
In follow-up posts, Dvalishvili thanked his family, his team, and his supporters for standing by him through this difficult moment. He acknowledged the pain, but remained focused on the future, promising his loved ones that this setback would only make him stronger. While Merab was processing the loss, his head coach John Wood opened up to MMA fighting about the devastating defeat. His words painted a picture of just how painful this moment was. "It sucks. It's like waking up from a nightmare. This doesn't go away. I thought we had the right things going on in this camp, and it was a quick camp, and it was a hard camp. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, but it was Peter's night."
You know, it sucks, man. It's like waking up from a nightmare. This doesn't go away, you know. Yeah, you know, I thought that, like I said, we had the right things going on in this camp, and it was a quick camp, and it was a hard camp, and there's a lot of things that go on, you know, behind the scenes. But yeah, it was Peter's night, man.
Coach Wood addressed the elephant in the room. Was 4 title fights in 1 year too much? His response was honest and revealing. "Do I think we could have done some things differently? Yes. Do I think that having to do it all over again, would he do any different? No, I don't think so. The man is chasing greatness. When you're chasing greatness, when you're chasing to be special, these are the kinds of things that sometimes don't go your way."
Do I think that, you know, we could have done some things different? Yes. Do I think that having do it all over again, would he do it any different? No, I don't think so. The man is chasing greatness. And when you're chasing greatness, when you're chasing to be special, these are the kind of things that sometimes don't go your way.
Wood explained the reality that most fans don't see. Being a champion isn't just about training. It's the constant press, interviews, media obligations, and travel. Dvalishvili had spent nearly 90 minutes in the octagon over 4 fights, but the mental and physical toll went far beyond that. The only thing I will say is, it's a lot. It's a lot for anything, and what people don't realize too is being a champion and a dominant champion. There's so much more that comes with it. All the press, all the interviews, all the travel. It's 100 times more than just any regular fight, and that adds up.
You know, my ideas, and the only thing I will say is, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for anything, and what people don't realize too is being a champion and a dominant champion and a champion that's, you know, defending and working, there's so much more that comes with it. All the press, all the interviews, all the travel, it's 100 times more than just any regular fight, and that adds up.
But here's where it gets interesting. Coach Wood is absolutely confident we'll see a trilogy fight in 2026. There's no doubt you will see it again. I'm sure that it might already be being talked about. It's one of those things. 2 great fights, and Peter coming out and performing like that against somebody that everybody thought was unstoppable at that time sets up a huge trilogy. There is no doubt in my mind in 2026 you will see the trilogy for sure.
There's no doubt, and I'm sure that it might already be being talked about. You know, it's one of those things. It's two great fights, and obviously, you know, Peter coming out and performing like that against somebody that everybody thought was unstoppable at that time. It sets up a huge trilogy to do it. So there is no doubt in my mind that 2026 that you will see the trilogy for sure.
But does Petr Yan want the trilogy? At the post-fight press conference, the newly crowned 2-time bantamweight champion had a different perspective. "I think Merab should really just get into the jacuzzi, think about it, and then we'll see. You saw the fight between Merab versus Umar Nurmagomedov. You saw the way that fight went. So who's more dangerous? They can rematch, and then we'll see what happens."
Я никогда в жизни не выбирал себе, с кем драться. То, что UFC планирует, матчмейкинг, полный газ.
Yan wasn't being disrespectful. He was being strategic. He pointed out that when he lost the belt years ago, the UFC made him win 3 more fights before getting another title shot. Why should Merab get immediate special treatment? Coach Wood revealed on the Ariel Helwani show what Merab's recovery should look like. His ideal scenario? A full month of vacation, something that seems impossible for a fighter nicknamed The Machine. Personally, I would love to see him take a vacation, rest up his body, and heal up some things. I'd love to see him get his mind away from it and come back hungry. If I could get him out to chill for a month and relax and take it easy, I think a month would be great. But really, just not sparring for the next month or two would be plenty time off.
You know, personally, I would love to see him take a vacation, rest up the body, heal up some things. I'd love to see him, get his mind away from it and come back as hungry. And I don't think that, I shouldn't say he's always been hungry, is insane. So, if I could get him out for chilling for a month and relax and take it easy, I think a month would be great. But, just not sparring for the next month or two would be I think plenty time off.
Tom Aspinall did interviews recently saying that his eye is not better. He was a little bit disappointed with some comments you made. Have you spoke to Tom? Do you know anything about that? And what's your reaction to what he said?
I have not. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't remember exactly what I said. What did I say? That is,
just said you think that
I think his eyes are okay.
This situation between Dana White and Tom Aspinall is getting heated, and Dana White has finally fired back at Tom Aspinall's criticism with a massive bombshell statement. The heavyweight champion called out the UFC president for his dismissive behavior after the UFC 321 eye poke disaster, and Dana is not backing down. Stay tuned because we've got Dana's full response, the complete timeline of this beef, and Tom Aspinall's latest Twitter message that has everyone talking. Let's get into it.
And I know Tom said, I haven't even talked to him and all that stuff, but we have people all over him right now, checking up on him, making sure he's good. Does he need any help or, any specialists?
All right, let's rewind and set the stage for those who might have missed what happened. Back in October at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi, Tom Aspinall was set to defend his undisputed heavyweight title for the first time against top contender Ciryl Gane. This was supposed to be a massive fight. The Etihad Arena was packed and fans around the world were hyped.
Guys, I just got fucking poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the fuck? Why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the fucking poke. I can't see. This is bullshit. The fight was just getting going. Complete bullshit. I'm pissed.
But then, disaster struck. In the very first round, Ciryl Gane accidentally poked Tom Aspinall in both eyes with his fingers. The fight was immediately stopped. Aspinall told the referee he couldn't see, and the bout was ruled a no contest. Just like that, the main event was over before it even began. The crowd in Abu Dhabi, they absolutely booed the outcome. Fans were furious, disappointed, and felt robbed of the fight they paid to see. But here's where things got controversial. At the post-fight press conference, Dana White's reaction raised a lot of eyebrows. Instead of showing sympathy for his heavyweight champion, who just suffered a serious eye injury, Dana seemed frustrated and dismissive. He praised Ciryl Gane's performance and made comments that suggested Aspinall didn't want to continue, rather than acknowledging he physically couldn't continue due to the foul.
After the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Ciryl Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes, as soon as possible. It's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did, and yes, I think that there probably will be a lot more interest in the rematch after they saw, he had Tom bloodied up, and Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
That's where this whole controversy started, and it's been snowballing ever since. Fast forward to this week, Tom Aspinall appeared on the Ariel Helwani show, and he did not hold back. The British heavyweight champion opened up about how disappointed he was with Dana White's behavior following UFC 321.
Slightly disappointing because he was already giving updates on my health and he had no idea what had gone on. So disappointing, mate. Disappointing.
Aspinall revealed some pretty shocking details. First, he said Dana initially gave incorrect information about his eye injury, claiming he had no damage and that his eyes were fine. But the reality? Aspinall has been diagnosed with a rare condition called bilateral Brown syndrome in both eyes. He's suffering from persistent double vision, reduced eye movement, significant visual field loss, and may even need surgery. Doctors haven't given him a timeline for when he can return to training, and there's talk he might not fight at all in 2026. But what really hurt Tom was Dana's insinuation that he quit. Aspinall fired back saying, and I quote, "I didn't continue, and I'll tell you why I didn't continue. Because I'm not a fucking dummy. I'm not going to go out there and fight one of the best strikers in the world if I can't see. If it's a legal move, we have to fight through it. But when it's a foul, why am I going to put my health at risk when I cannot see at all?"
Well, listen, I didn't continue. I'll tell you why I didn't continue. Because I'm not a dummy. Like, I'm not going to go out there and fight one of the best strikers in the world if I can't see. If it's a illegal move, we have to fight through it. That's what we do as fighters. But when it's a foul, why am I going to put my health at risk when I can't see at all?
Now here's where things get spicy. After UFC 323 in Las Vegas this past Saturday, Dana White faced the media and was asked directly about Tom Aspinall's criticism. And folks, Dana came out swinging with his defense. Dana started by admitting he doesn't remember exactly what he said back at UFC 321, asking reporters, "What did I say? That I think his eyes are okay?" But then he doubled down on his position with this bombshell statement. "I know Tom said I haven't even talked to him and all this stuff, but we have people all over him right now, checking up on him, making sure he's good. Does he need any help or any specialists?"
Obviously, and I know Tom said, I haven't even talked to him and all that stuff, but we have people all over him right now, checking up on him, making sure he's good. Does he need any help or, any specialists?
So Dana basically confirmed Tom's point about not speaking to him directly, but tried to justify it by saying the UFC has staff handling it. Then came the key part of his defense. "I'm no doctor. I'm just saying what I've heard. It wasn't said in a way to be detrimental. I said I think Tom's eyes are good. He's going to take some time, heal, and come back. That's all I said. I wasn't saying anything negative towards him. I think things can be taken out of context, or he didn't see what I said, because I don't even remember what the fuck I said."
I'm no doctor. I'm just saying what I've heard, and that was in no way, it wasn't said in a way that they're like, "Oh, what do you think?" I said, "I think he's fine." Or it wasn't like that. I said, "I think Tom's eyes are good. He's going to take some time, heal, come back to, that's all I said. I wasn't saying anything negative toward him. And I think that things can be taken out of context, or he didn't see what I said, because I don't even remember what the fuck I said.
And here's the bombshell quote that's making headlines. "Never once did I say anything negative about him or in a derogatory way."
Never once did I say anything negative about him or, in a derogatory way.
Dana went on to say he's sure Tom is upset and fired up, but that he'll get better and they'll get him back in the octagon. It's classic Dana White, acknowledging the situation but refusing to admit any real wrongdoing. Now Tom Aspinall wasn't going to let Dana's comments slide without a response. Shortly after Dana's press conference, Tom took to Twitter with a message that has the MMA community going wild. The tweet has already racked up thousands of likes and retweets, with fans divided. Some are praising Tom for standing his ground and demanding respect as the champion. Others think he's being too sensitive and should just focus on recovery. But one thing's for sure, this beef between the UFC president and the heavyweight king is far from over.
Never once did I say anything negative about him or, in a derogatory way. I'm sure he's upset and fired up, and, he'll get better and we'll get him back in there. Yes, sir.
Right. So
what does all this mean for the UFC and the heavyweight division? Well, there are a few key takeaways here, but until Tom's eyes heal and he gets medical clearance, we're in limbo. And this beef between him and Dana? It's adding an uncomfortable layer of tension to an already complicated situation.
Not a way we want to see a main event end, any fight end. Give us your reaction to the eye poke.
I mean, I feel the way everybody feels. Great showing, shitty ending, After the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Cyril gone off. He looked damn good tonight. Looked like we were in for a few rounds and it was going to be a good fight.
And there you have it. Fight fans. Dana White has fired back at Tom Aspinall with his bombshell statement claiming he never said anything negative, while Tom continues to stand his ground on Twitter and demand the respect he deserves as champion. This story is developing rapidly, and we'll be here to bring you every update as it happens. What do you think? Is Dana White justified in his response, or should he have handled this situation better? Is Tom Aspinall right to call out the UFC president publicly? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from all of you.
Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Total pain in the ass, but yes. Great showing, ending, you know?
What does it take to make an eye poke intentional?
Who the knows? Who gives a I can't make people fight, and you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. I mean, he had Tom bloodied up, you know. Tom didn't want to continue in the fight.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our UFC coverage. Share this video with your MMA friends who need to see what's going on with this Dana versus Tom situation. Thanks for watching, and remember, we'll see you in the next one. Stay ready, because in the UFC, anything can happen.
I was very disappointed. Yeah, very disappointed.
Have you spoken to him since?
No.
Is that disappointing?
I've spoken to the UFC since, but I've not spoken to... me and Dana don't really speak like that anyway, so...
Ever?
No, ever.
Is that surprising?
Not really. I mean, no, it's not. I mean, I've never really... I've said hello here and there, but I don't really have a relationship with Dana.
You're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're a huge star. You've taken fights on short notice. You've been backup fighter, the face of the UK fight scene. It surprises me that you have no kind of relationship with him.
I don't really know what to say. That's the way it is.
Has he sent you a text or DM in the aftermath? Hope you're feeling better.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. He actually, he started giving updates that there was nothing wrong with my eye when that isn't the case. So I've done a lot for the UFC. So yeah, disappointing. Like I said, I don't really have a relationship with Dana anyway.
Do you feel like they've taken care of you, the organization?
Not really.
Is that frustrating?
Disappointing, mate.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Are they already asking like, hey, when can you come back?
Yeah, we sent them all the doctor's reports and stuff, so that's all we can do.
UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has just delivered a brutal warning to Dana White. And trust me, you do not want to miss this. The British champion is breaking his silence, and he's holding absolutely nothing back about his treatment following the controversial UFC 309 incident.
What are they saying right now in terms of what the recovery time will be, what you're facing, when you could be back to 100%?
So obviously I want to get back as soon as possible. That's the plan. But I'm also aware that with eyes you got to be careful. They don't really know when I'm going to be back at the moment. I'm still like not even cleared to train or do anything. They're talking about doing surgery on both eyes. They're talking about injection. I have to get an injection in the eyeball soon.
Jeez.
So I'm not looking forward to that. So yeah, I don't really know at this point. I don't know.
All right, let's get straight into it. Tom Aspinall, the reigning UFC heavyweight champion, has just dropped a bombshell that has the entire combat sports world buzzing. In his first major interview since the disastrous UFC 321 incident with Cyril Gane, Aspinall revealed something absolutely shocking. He has no relationship with Dana White. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Now, let me paint this picture for you. We're talking about the UFC heavyweight champion, one of the most exciting fighters in the organization, a guy who's taken short notice fights, served as a backup fighter, and represented the UK fight scene on the biggest stage. And he's telling us that the UFC president hasn't even sent him a text message to check on his health after a serious eye injury. Aspinall didn't hold back, stating he's very disappointed with how the UFC has handled the situation. He revealed that Dana White gave updates about his condition to the media without even speaking to him first. Think about that. The man is in the hospital dealing with a potentially career-threatening injury, and he's finding out what his boss is saying about him through the media. That's not just disappointing, that's disrespectful. Now let's rewind and talk about what actually happened at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Aspinall was facing off against the dangerous French striker Cyril Gane, and everything was going according to plan until disaster struck. Late in the first round, Gane's fingers went straight into both of Aspinall's eyes, what Tom himself calls a double eye gouge, not just a simple eye poke.
Take a moment. Take a moment.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Take a moment. Right over here.
Yeah, that was
over here, please. Tom.
a pretty bad one.
Give me a cloth. Give me a cloth.
Yeah, sort of dug in there.
Oh,
sides,
that
sides.
left one was the worst. I was looking at the right eye.
Both
Seems
sides.
like the right eye's
You
the
got
one
time?
that's
I'm gonna get you
bothering
some
you.
water right now.
Sometimes those scraping motions are worse than just taking a finger.
The damage was severe. According to medical reports that Aspinall later released, he suffered damage to both eyes, with his right eye taking the worst of it. We're talking about a cracked orbital wall, which is apparently only as thin as a fingernail, damage to the muscles at the back of the eyeball, and ongoing double vision and dizziness that's preventing him from training even weeks later. But here's where things get absolutely insane. Instead of getting support from the organization, Aspinall faced a wave of hatred from fans and critics who accused him of faking the injury. People were saying he quit, that he was looking for a way out, that he didn't want to continue because the fight was getting tough.
Didn't even check my phone or nothing for a while. And then I realized oh shit, people genuinely think that I faked this. People actually think that I was faking it. And then I was like, did people actually see the replay of what happened? Because that was a full-on eye poke. If you don't believe the eye poke and you don't believe the doctor's reports, what are we doing? What's going on here? I didn't make this shit up. Go watch the replay, check out the doctor's reports. Look, man, I'm in the point where, you just cannot please these guys. These guys are fucking losers, man. These guys are just crazy haters who have got nothing good going on in their life, obviously. I have still got a lot of fans. I wanted to keep my fans updated with what's going on, and I appreciate everybody that's stuck by me.
Aspinall's response? Absolutely perfect. He said, and I quote, "Did people actually look at the eye poke? Why do people think I'm faking this? If you don't believe the doctor's report, what am I supposed to do?" The frustration in his voice is real and honestly, completely justified. Here's where the UFC president really dropped the ball. At the post-fight press conference, instead of defending his champion or even showing concern for the injury, Dana White's demeanor suggested he was more upset that the fight didn't continue. His now infamous line, "Tom didn't want to continue." Let that sink in. Not Tom couldn't see, not Tom suffered a serious injury from an illegal foul, but Tom didn't want to continue. Those words, coming from the UFC president, essentially painted Aspinall as a quitter in front of the entire MMA world.
After the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Cyril Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah. Total pain in the ass, but yes. It's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did. And, I mean, he had Tom bloodied up, and, Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so.
And it gets worse. Aspinall revealed that when he asked if the UFC had taken care of him in the aftermath, shown him support, or offered the kind of backing that a champion deserves, his answer was devastating. Not really. When asked if they're already pressuring him about when he can return, Aspinall confirmed, yeah. So let me get this straight. No support, no compassion, no understanding about the severity of the injury, but plenty of pressure about getting back in the cage. That's the treatment the heavyweight champion of the world is getting.
How are the eyes?
The eyes are, unfortunately, not back to full health yet. So we're still waiting. We put the doctor's reports out recently.
Yes.
Which has been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest with you, because I know there's a lot of haters out there. Of course, this is professional sport at the highest level. We have haters.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. Aspinall's father had previously mentioned in an interview during Fight Week that he wanted Tom to consider boxing after fighting out his UFC contract. At the time, it seemed like just a passing comment, maybe a negotiating tactic. But now, after everything that's happened, the lack of support, the public criticism, the pressure to return without proper care, that boxing option is looking a lot more realistic. While Aspinall himself says he's never directly told the UFC he wants to fight out his contract and move to boxing, he made it crystal clear that he understands fighters need to maximize their earnings and that he has work to do in the UFC for now.
Can I ask, do you share his sentiment? Would you like to fight out your contract and go on to boxing?
Never say never, but I think that I've got more. I always said it from the beginning, I got work to do in the UFC, so right now and before the fight, that wasn't really something that I was thinking about.
The message to Dana White is clear. Treat me with respect, give me the support I deserve as your champion, or watch me take my talents and my massive UK fan base somewhere else. Let's talk about the actual medical situation because this is serious stuff. Aspinall is facing potential surgery on both eyes. He's also mentioned needing injections directly into his eyeball. And yes, that's as horrifying as it sounds. The damage to the back of his eyeball and the cracked orbital wall means any surgical intervention is pretty risky, because doctors have to go so far into the eye.
Yeah, it just puts everything into perspective. Like, when we're going in, I can't see. Well, it's a dangerous sport, man.
You were saying it's scarier than what you did to your leg.
It's way scarier than what I did to my knee, because you know that the knee's just going to be all right, whereas your eye, still don't know how it's going to be.
And here's the thing that makes this even more frustrating. Aspinall has fought through injuries before. He mentioned fighting Andrei Arlovsky with compromised vision from a legal punch, adopting a completely different stance just to see his opponent properly. But that was from a legal strike. This was from an illegal foul that damaged both eyes. As Aspinall himself put it, if you get punched, kicked, kneed, elbowed in the eye, you've got to fight through it. But if you get double eye gouged illegally and you can't see anything, why have I got to put my UFC heavyweight title on the line just to get knocked out in front of everybody?
If you get punched, kicked, kneed, elbow in the eye, you got to fight through it. I did fight through it against Andrei Arlovsky, as we just spoke about. If you get, and that's with one eye, if you get double eye gouged and you can't see anything because of an illegal move, why you got to fight through it? Why have I got to put my UFC heavyweight title on the line that I've worked for my whole life for, just to go and get knocked out in front of everybody?
Here's what really gets me about this whole situation. The UFC has a serious eye poke problem. And
What do you think about Dana White saying Tom didn't continue?
I mean, he had Tom bloodied up. Tom didn't want to continue in the fight.
Well, listen, I didn't continue. I'll tell you why I didn't continue. Because I'm not a dummy. Like, I'm not going to go out there and fight one of the best strikers in the world if I can't see. That's fine. If you get punched or kicked in the eye, that's fine. If you get double eye poked in both eyes and you've got no vision because of a foul, why should I carry on so some dummy can look and say, oh yeah, Tom just got knocked out? I ain't going to fight if I can't see anything because of a foul. If it's an illegal move, we have to fight through it. That's what we do as fighters.
So you're not too happy then on what the president of the organisation is saying?
Well, what do you think? If you were sidelined from doing your job for like 15 months, not allowed to do anything, you train your off for 6 months for a fight, then to get double eye poked, be left with no vision for nearly 6 weeks. How do you think I feel? Not feeling fantastic, have I? Hunter Campbell, who I deal with personally, he's just said if they can help out in any way with doctors and stuff like that, that's what they'll do.
So you're not too happy then on what the president of the organisation is saying towards it?
Well, what do you think?
Tom Aspinall has finally broken his silence, and he's not holding back. After weeks of criticism, medical evaluations, and Dana White questioning his heart, the UFC heavyweight champion is firing back with both barrels. This is the story of what really happened at UFC 321, why Aspinall says he's not a dummy, and the massive rift that's opening up between him and the UFC boss. Let's get into it.
I had a bloody nose.
I mean, he had Tom bloodied up.
Look, any of my sparring partners know you only have to look at that thing.
I think it's a bit red now as well, isn't it?
It might be a bit red today, yeah. Got the old Rudolph thing going on.
It's not broken though, just to be clear.
No, my nose isn't broken, but I have broke my nose about 3 or 4 times. Touch me in the nose, it'll bleed. Yeah, nosebleeds happen in fights. Yeah, was he hitting me with a few jabs? Yes. Was I hitting him with a few shots as well? Yes. I thought it was going to be a 5-round fight.
Let's rewind to October at UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall was making his first defense as the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion against the dangerous striker Cyril Gane. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Aspinall had waited 15 months on the sidelines, watching the John Jones saga unfold, finally getting his moment to prove he's the real deal. Cyril Gane threw out his hands and drove his fingers deep into both of Aspinall's eyes simultaneously. We're not talking about a glancing touch here. Aspinall described it as Gane trying to turn his head into a bowling ball with a double eye poke, knuckle deep in both eyes. Now here's where things get spicy. At the post-fight press conference, Dana White didn't exactly rush to Aspinall's defense. In fact, he did quite the opposite. Dana told the media, "I can't make people fight, and you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured." Only Tom knows what happened. Could he see? Couldn't he see? Could he continue? Only he knows that.
I can't make people fight, right? If I want to put together a fight, I can't make people fight. And you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. You know, could he see, couldn't he see, could he continue? Only he knows that.
But then came the kicker. Dana added, I mean, he had Tom bloodied up and Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. So who gives a shit? Wait, what? Didn't want to continue? Those 4 words sent shockwaves through the MMA community. The implication was clear.